A machine stood in the center of a crowded square. People gathered not to run, but to watch. Some pushed forward to get a better view. Others stood silently, waiting. A blade dropped, and the crowd reacted. Some cheered, some looked away, some said nothing at all. This was called justice. But what followed would turn a nation into a place where no one was safe. It didn't begin with violence. It began with frustration. Years of hunger, empty markets, rising bread prices. Families struggled to survive. People felt ignored, voices unheard, lives controlled by a system that no longer worked. Eventually, something broke. The monarchy collapsed. King Louis XVI was arrested, tried, and executed. For many, it felt like a new beginning, a chance for fairness, equality, change. But revolutions are unpredictable, and power never stays still for long. Instead of stability, fear began to grow. Quiet at first, then louder, then everywhere. People questioned each other. Who could be trusted? Who was loyal? Who was pretending? No one had answers, and uncertainty made everything worse. Leaders believed the revolution was in danger, seeing threats everywhere. Foreign armies, internal rebellions, opposition in the shadows. Whether real or imagined didn't matter. The fear felt real. A powerful group took control. Decisions became faster, more direct, less forgiving. At the center was Maximilien Robespierre, who believed fear could be a tool to control behavior, enforce loyalty, protect the revolution. Once that idea took hold, everything changed. Trials became shorter, evidence mattered less, accusations carried more weight. Sometimes being suspected was enough. There was little chance to defend yourself, and once a decision was made, there was almost no way back. The guillotine stood ready, always visible, always waiting, a message, a warning, a symbol. Every day, people were brought forward, names called out, faces filled with fear or disbelief. Some protested, some stayed silent, some never understood why they were there. The blade fell again and again. At first, targets seemed clear: former nobles, supporters of the old system, political opponents. But slowly that line disappeared. Accusations increased, standards dropped, trust faded. Neighbors watched each other, friends measured words, conversations could be dangerous, jokes misunderstood, disagreements reported. Once your name was mentioned, everything could change. There were no guarantees, no safety, no certainty. Fear spread into every part of daily life. People stopped speaking openly, stopped sharing opinions, stopped trusting even those closest. Survival depended not on being right, but on not being noticed. Executions became routine. Crowds gathered, curiosity, conformity, fear of suspicion. What once shocked became familiar: the sound of the blade, the crowd's reaction, the silence afterward. Thousands died, and slowly people began to accept it, not because they agreed, but because they felt they had no choice. Then fear moved upward. Leaders questioned each other, suspicions grew, alliances weakened, trust disappeared. Those who once decided now feared becoming the next target. The revolution began turning on itself, and then it happened. Robespierre was arrested, suddenly, unexpectedly. The man who defended fear now stood before it. No defense, no escape, no special treatment. He was brought forward, judged quickly, sent to the same place as thousands before him. The same machine, the same blade, the same ending. After that, the terror began to fade. Executions slowed, the atmosphere shifted, people breathed again, but the damage remained. Thousands were gone, families broken, communities changed. Trust was not easily rebuilt, and the memory stayed. This story is not just about violence. It is about how quickly things can change, how fear spreads, how power shifts, how good intentions lead somewhere unexpected. It began with people wanting fairness, a better life, change, but somewhere along the way, fear took control, and everything else followed. The French Revolution promised freedom, but for a time it created a world where silence meant safety. And when fear becomes the foundation of justice, it doesn't protect, it destroys.